posh neighborhood of Kundanbag, famous for its big fancy houses and lush gardens, there was one house that everyone avoided. It stood alone at the end of a quiet street, its walls covered in cracks, its garden wild with weeds. Though it looked empty, locals swore they saw shadows moving behind its dusty windows. Some said it was cursed, others whispered about witches. But Jeffrey, a small time thief, didn't believe in ghosts. He believed in hidden riches. For weeks, Jeffrey watched the house. Every night, the lights turned off at exactly 10 p.m. Rich people with strict routines, he thought. Easy to rob. One moonless night, he crept into the backyard. The air smelled strange, like old flowers and dirt. He pried open a rusty window and slipped inside. The house was freezing cold. His flashlight flickered over empty rooms. Furniture lay broken, paintings hung crookedly, and cobwebs clung to every corner. Jeffrey grew annoyed. Where's the money? The jewels? Just then, he heard a soft creak. Footsteps, slow, heavy, like someone dragging their feet. A woman shuffled into the hallway. Her skin was deathly pale, her eyes sunken and rimmed with black. Her hair hung in greasy strands, and her torn nightgown dragged on the floor. In one hand, she clutched a kitchen knife. She mumbled to herself, words Jeffrey couldn't understand. Jeffrey froze. The woman walked right past him, staring blankly ahead, and entered the kitchen. Moments later, she let out a scream, a raw, terrified sound. Jeffrey's heart raced as he peeked into the kitchen. The woman was on her knees, scratching the floor tiles with her knife. They're here. They're here. She sobbed, her voice trembling. Jeffrey bolted upstairs, hoping to escape. But at the top of the stairs stood another woman, identical to the first. This one grinned, her eyes wide and wild. You shouldn't have come, she cackled, pushing open a bedroom door. The smell hit Jeffrey first. Rotten, sweet, and thick. Inside the room, three corpses lay on a bed. Their skin was black and peeling, their mouths open in silent screams. Two were women in tattered nightgowns, the same women Jeffrey had just seen. The third was a man in a faded suit, his face shriveled like dried fruit. The grinning woman pointed at the bodies and laughed. A high, crazy laugh, before disappearing into the shadows. Jeffrey screamed and ran. He didn't stop until he reached the police station, where he gasped out his story. The officers rolled their eyes, but went to investigate. What they found shocked everyone. The three bodies were real. Forensic experts said they'd been dead for 6 months. A poison bottle sat on a nightstand, and the walls were covered in creepy symbols drawn in charcoal. But neighbors insisted they'd seen the sisters alive just days ago. They'd wander the garden at night, talking to themselves, said one man. After their father died, they lost their minds. They claimed they could bring him back with dark magic. The police blamed it on a family suicide pact, but mysteries remained. How could the sisters be seen alive if they'd been dead for months? Why was there fresh blood in the kitchen? And why did Jeffrey hear laughter echoing from the empty house long after the bodies were removed? Today, the house is a twisted tourist attraction. Teens dare each other to touch its gates. Ghost hunters set up cameras, hoping to film the sisters' ghosts. Some say they're trapped in the house, forever scratching at the floor, searching for a way out. Others think Jeffrey made it all up. But on quiet nights, when the wind dies down, you can still hear it. The scrape of a knife on stone, a woman's faint sobs, and whispers floating through the broken windows. They're here. They're here. No one knows who they are, and no one stays long enough to find out.